Hey, in today's podcast, we're going to talk about the difference between a quote and a proposal, but I'm going to make you super fast at quoting. Welcome to the Intentional Success Podcast, where we unpack the top strategies, explore business trends, and drill down into best practices to help your live events production business grow and scale on purpose. I'm your host, Tom Stimson. So I get this question all the time, usually from my club member clients, my coaching clients who reach out and say, hey, I just got this RFP. Well, it's not really an RFP, it's an RFQ. It's a request for a quote, not a request for a proposal, because there's no detail in an RFQ. In an RFP, the job should be relatively well vetted, and now we're getting pricing from multiple companies. So that's how you tell the difference. An RFP is going to be your interpretation of a detailed request and how you're going to do it. An RFQ is, we don't know how the heck we're going to do this. We want you to figure that out for us, and we'd like you to figure that out for free. That's an RFQ. So it's very important when we get RFQs that we do quotes instead of proposals. A proposal is detailed. We have to live with it. There's often not to exceed numbers in proposals, and you don't have enough information. And very often, people who are looking for quotes they're just fishing. They're just on a journey to get more information, to get somebody to do their work for free, to hold somebody else's number accountable. We don't want to spend a lot of time on that, but very often we need to respond to these quoting opportunities, and we need to do it intelligently. We need to be helpful, but we could be a lot less complete. So I use the term napkin drawings, napkin quotes all the time. And I'll go back to where this comes from for me. I know other people say these things as well. But back when I was a theater student in college, one of our rituals was after our classes, in theater classes, were at 8 and 9 a.m. Not that theater people like to get up early, but theater people needed to be in the shop at 1 o'clock and work in the afternoon and build scenery, and they needed to do rehearsals at night. So getting our classes out of the way was important. So we get our class done, and we'd go over to the student union, and we'd sit down and have coffee and smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I don't recommend that you do. But 40 years ago, we sat there, drank coffee, and smoked cigarettes is what we did. And we would talk theater, and often our professors would be there with us. And, they're designers and experienced people, and they would talk theater. And we'd design shows, and we'd plan shows. And one of my favorite things was planning the summer stock. We did 2 shows every summer in a small venue over in the student union, not one of our normal theater venues. And they did a dinner theater. And, professor would, say, hey, well, we're going to do these 2 plays this summer. And we had some stock scenery that fit in that room, some flats and things that we could repaint and adjust, some door plugs, that sort of thing. So we would design the show, and he would literally pull a napkin off the table and get a pen out and do a napkin drawing. And, here's the rough dimensions of the stage. We know we need an entrance. Let's make room for an entrance over here. And we know we need to put an exit over there. And, we've got to have a little balcony thing. Then you start drawing and sketching all these things in. We're all sharing ideas, and he'd grab another napkin and start over and incorporate the changes, because it's really hard to erase a napkin. And we sit there and we design a show on a napkin. And then, maybe do a little elevation on a napkin. Love doing this kind of stuff. It's easy. It's how I think about shows today. Now, what was really fun was during the summer when there aren't many students there. We were not a lot of rules to follow, small crew. And the professors really got involved in these summer shows. And we would go into the scene shop, and I was the shop manager at this time. And we would have fun building the set. We would build the set, pulling stock pieces, figuring out doing a dry setup in the shop floor, all based on this napkin drawing. And another thing we would do is we would use a single piece of wood for our measuring tape. We put away all measuring devices because we were just trying to make this fun and interesting. And we took a single board, and that board became a unit, 1 board length, and half of it was half a board length. So we divided into half and half again and half again until we had 30 seconds. So we have probably a 3-foot board that became our unit of measurement for everything on this job. And so we tried to measure everything from there just to make it fun. But the thing is, we did it off a napkin drawing. We didn't need to have a complete set of architectural drawings, theatrical drawings. And back then, this was pencil and paper. I'd sit at a workstation. I'd sit at a drafting table and draw all this out, figure out how long each board was, yada, yada, yada. No, we just went in there and we did it. It was a lot of fun. Now, quoting is the same way. I can write a detailed quote. I can go into my rental management system. I can figure out how big of a sound system I need, add all the parts and pieces, build a video package, develop screens, determine drape, count how many feet of truss I need, figure out how many pick points and all that kind of stuff. I can do all of that, which is basically design a show for what is a speculative request. So when somebody's calling you up for a quote, they may be asking for that detailed proposal. They don't deserve it. They have not earned that. You can ask them, do you have a technical director? Has somebody designed this for you? Do you have an RFP? No, we're not at that stage yet. Okay. Would you like to hire me to do that for you? Oh, no. We just want to get some numbers together. All right. You are in quoting world. Okay. They're not paying for you to be a professional TT designer, production manager. Okay. They have not paid for that work themselves. They're on a fishing expedition. But if you determine that this is somebody you want to go fishing with, let's get them a budget. Let's get them a range. And quoting is always a range. It's never a number. It's a range of numbers. Here's how to quote effectively. Now, this won't work 100% of the time, but it will work 80, 90% of the time. Really customized stuff, this doesn't work on. But you know what? Really customized stuff should not be a napkin quote. Or if it is, it's going to be a big number, and you'll understand how to get to that number when I explain how to do this. So here's how I put together a napkin quote for a job. Client says, hey, we've got 500 people in a ballroom. We want to give away some awards. We've got a gala night. We're going to be on show site for 3 days. We got 2 days of show, day of rehearsal. They never remember setup, so we had a day of setup. I tell them, make sure it's in their contract, blah, blah, blah. Great. We know we're going to be on site for 4 days. I have basically all the information I need, right? Right? Yeah. Do you want to record it? Yeah. Do you want to see the award winners on the screen? Oh yeah. Okay, great. We know what to do. Do we want to create a little excitement when an award is handed out? Oh yeah, that'd be great. But we're also doing a business meeting. Okay. So we want a different look for the business meeting than we want for the awards. Yeah, great. I have all the information I need, right? 500 people, a ballroom. I don't care which ballroom it is. I don't care how tall the ceilings are. None of that actually matters. Very little that will actually affect the price of the proposal when you get to it. For a quote, all I need is a range, and here's how you do it. Do not start with equipment. Start with people. What do I need in terms of a crew to do the show that we just described? Hey, my dad's got a barn. Let's do a show, right? So how do we put that show together? Well, I'm going to have a bunch of wireless mics. I need 2 audio people, one front of house, one back of house. Awesome. Great. I'm going to have a lot of lighting. I probably need a master electrician there too to help handle with all the flash and trash and moving lights and things and stuff that go on. So let's put 2 lighting people on there for the run of the show. We know we've got a video department. I've got to switch some cameras. We're going to have to play some stuff back. We're going to have to help presenters with their computers. There's 3 video people. Oh, we got display. We need another one, projection or displays or LED or whatever it might be. We've got some scenic elements. Scenic elements may have decorative lighting, decorative LED in it. So there may be another video or lighting person involved to support scenic plus the scenic person, right? I mean, we can add up the crew of the show. I need camera operators or I need robotic camera operator. Put together the show. I got record, I got streaming. Great. Add people. Every one of those people, just pick a number, $1,000 a day, right? Well, Tom, some of our people are 600. I don't care. Some of your people are 1,200. Just pick $1,000 a day. We're doing a quote here, right? Make the math as easy as possible. So I figured out I've got 10 people on the show at $1,000 a day. That's $10,000 a day. That's $40,000 for the 4 days on site. Great. That's a rough labor number. I'm going to add in another $10,000 for logistics, travel, and all the other stuff it takes to get that. That's about 25% of labor. which will get the gear there, we'll get the people there, take care of all the other stuff that we forgot about, including the overtime that nobody can predict at this point. So great, I'm at $50,000 now. Great, I write down $50,000. Okay, if I double that number, I have a budget. That is my low end of the budget, my super low budget for a customer who's saying, hey, we're really cost conscious about this. We're trying to find the most effective way to do this, but I need a starting budget. Great, your starting budget is $50,000 times 2 plus 20%. So it's $100,000 to $120,000. I tell the client, that's what you need to budget for this show. We can do most of the things that you described, if not more. Go get that budget approved, and we'll start hashing out the real design and the real details when you move the job along. Awesome. Now, if somebody comes in with less information and they're not expressing budget conscious, or they're budget conscious before they know what they want to do, I'm going to give them a bigger number. They put me into a non-standard venue, I'm going to give them a bigger number. If it's a goofy schedule, I'm going to hit them with a bigger number. If they're throwing around terms like decorative LED and this and that and things that that are going to take some working out, I'm going to throw a bigger number. You do the same thing. I got $50,000 worth of labor. I added everything up. Okay. I double it. I add 20%. That's now my low number. So now I'm at $120,000 to $150,000 because I put another 20% on top of that. So now I've got a range of $120,000 to $150,000. We can probably find something that will work for you in that budget. It's not everything. You could spend $200,000. Okay. You could also spend $100,000, but you haven't described $100,000 worth of need to me. You described a very vague $120,000 to $150,000 worth of need. I'm done with the quote. I just did this on a podcast live. You can do this on a phone call live, right? It doesn't take much to quote. Give them a range, give them enough information to be helpful so that they can go back and get more complete information. Now, if they want to sit down and say, hey, would you like to talk to my designer? Would you like to talk to the production manager? And we can come up with a better solution for you. But I don't want to do that when you're at the fishing stage, when you're calling around companies, finding people. I want you to talk to somebody who's going to help you out, help you solve the problem that you have here today, and then tell you what the next step is. The next step is I want you to get your budget approved, come sit down with your team, and let's use your budget to its highest and best use. Let's get the most bang for your buck. Let's give you all the things that you want and absolutely everything that you need within your budget. Oh, man, you guys have been great to work with. Thank you so much for this. I will be back to you soon. Why don't we schedule that call? Okay. I helped you out. You helped me out. Can we talk about this next week? Well, it's going to take me 2 weeks to get to the boss. Great. Can we schedule a call in 3 weeks? I'd like to follow up and hear how that conversation went and learn whether this helped you move your project forward. Would you do that for me? Tom, I'd be happy to do that for you. Let's get that on the schedule. Awesome. You just generated a quote. You didn't use up any of the team's time. You didn't have to go through all this rental management, trying to find out if there's inventory available that week, figure out what the crew's going to be, talk to the ops people so they could tell you, no, we're too busy that week. You didn't have to do any of that. You helped somebody out. You gave them a number that I guarantee you can work with. Right? And you didn't even have to open up your computer. All right. Napkin quotes. Learn how to do them. Learn what things are worth, but it all comes down to labor. If you get your talent assembled, you double that number, you've got a baseline budget. 20% will get you the things that they would like to have. Add another 20% of that, and you'll get them to everything they want, right? It's there. It's a tool. I hope you use it. Try it out. Go back and look at some projects you've done in the past and see if this would have gotten you to the number faster than the 3 days it takes you to do a proposal now. I love this stuff. If you got questions, reach out to me. Thanks for listening. Quote faster. If you want to find out more about today's episode, go to trstimson.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes, related links, and tons of other valuable resources. If you haven't already subscribed to the Intentional Success Podcast, please do so, and I'd greatly appreciate if you would rate and review the show. Also, if you think you might be a good fit to work together or want more information about the Stimson Group, I'd love to hear from you. Visit trstimson.com for more information.